kindly pray for Government of India should make integrated national employment policy and national policy for gig economy, migration policy for equity and inclusive growth of citizens, and treat employment as a national priority to transform employment landscape by do the centralized registry of high quality real-time employment data in all states of India. This article comes in Hindu English newspaper Chennai edition on 6th October 2025. It's written by Sanjeev Bajaj, is past president of Confederation of Indian Industry, and Sandrajit Banerjee, Director General of Confederation of Indian Industry. I thank three of them. India is the most populous and also one of the youngest countries. Estimates by the Confederation of Indian Industry suggest that over the next 25 years, India will add around 133 million people to its working age population 15 to 64 years, which is close to 18% of the total incremental global workforce. However, India has a short window to leverage this demographic dividend as the worker population is expected to peak around 2043. Employment generation is critical for equity and inclusion. Quality jobs at scale can lift millions out of poverty, reduce regional and social disparities, and ensure a more even distribution of growth benefits. Generating jobs is also vital for growth and resilience in a consumption-driven economy such as India's. Broadening consumption through good quality jobs accelerates and stabilizes growth. Employment must therefore be treated as a national priority. This requires consistent growth policies that encourage steady investment and long-term job creation rather than fragmented or short-term approaches. Despite central and state government initiative, from skill development to social security, India still lacks a unified national framework that comprehensively addresses employment and livelihoods. Job creation requires intervention on both demand and supply sides of labor market. Demand is driven by economic and sectoral growth, while supply is influenced by skills, mobility and societal norms. Without bridging these gaps, policy impact will remain limited. A particular concern is the employability of graduates. College curricula need focused reviews to make graduates job ready, supplemented with skilling programs that are aligned to industry and emerging sectors. To address these challenges, an integrated national employment policy is of urgent need. This should consolidate existing schemes and align drivers' initiatives. It must be developed in coordination with the states, key ministries, and industry. Governance could be overseen by an empowered group of secretaries, with implementation led by a district planning committee that understand local challenges. The policy must define time-bound goals, identify high employment potential sectors, and align trade, industrial, education, and labor policies to maximize job creation. It should also tackle labor market frictions, regional disparities, and barriers faced by women and marginalized groups, while ensuring that skilling incorporates technologies such as artificial intelligence and robotics. Another challenge is the mismatch between the availability of people and jobs. The center and state must work together on migration policies and support systems that promote mobility and constructivity without letting politics become a barrier. Building One India for employment mobility will be critical. Timely implementation of the 4 Labor Code must also be prioritized, and clear transition guidelines and advisory support for business will be essential. Sectors to zero in job creation efforts must focus on labor-intensive sectors such as textiles, tourism, agro-processing, real estate and healthcare. The micro, small, medium enterprises sector, which already employs over 25 crore people, requires a comprehensive support strategy covering access to finance, technology, skilling and markets to generate growth with jobs. To address urban job distress, an urban employment guarantee program could be piloted in select cities. A major opportunity lies in the expanding gig economy, which employs between 80 lakh and 1.8 crore workers and would grow to 9 crore by 2030. With participation spreading into Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, it holds enormous potential for job creation and formalization. A national policy for the gig economy can help unlock this potential. The policy should promote sector growth while ensuring worker production through skilling, finance and social security. A centralized registry could enable seamless onboarding, preserve work histories and reduce entry barriers. Fair contracts, safety standards and grievance redressal must also be ensured. With the right institutional and regulatory support, the gig economy can become a cornerstone of India's inclusive workforce. Beyond numbers, improving job quality through better wages, safer conditions and social security is vital. Affordable housing near industrial hubs can improve mobility and quality of life. Regionally balanced employment can be promoted through targeted intervention in 100 most underdeveloped districts, rural internship for graduates and remote work and BPOs in towns. Enhancing female labor force participation should be another priority. This requires incentives under the employment linked incentive scheme, formalization of Anganwadi and aggregated social health active roles, investment in child care and elder care and campaign to address societal norms restricting women's work. Finally, the high quality real-time employment data is critical. A dedicated task force could strengthen methodologies, expand coverage to the informal and rural workforce and reduce the lag between data collection and publication. With coordinated reforms, targeted investment and inclusive national employment strategy, India can fundamentally transform its employment landscape. Doing so is not only essential to unlocking its demographic dividend, but also central to achieving equitable, resilient and sustainable growth. Bible talks about employment, national employment policy and treat employment as a national priority. In Matthew chapter 20 verse 7, that is citizens said to him, that is government of India, because no one hired us. He said to them, you also go into vineyard and you will get what is right. They, that is Indians, were willing to work but had lacked opportunities. It should be solved and improved. Amen.